think about Australia's views of sharks? Being an Australian, I noticed...
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'm an Australian. I think it's quite backwards, and I think that it's not in line with our culture, and we are a beach culture, and I think it's very odd, and I think that it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why. I mean, that's their home, and we decide to swim. That's our choice, but we don't need to go out and kill them.
Well, it's not gaining anything. People now know that it's not like the statistics of the shark culls show that it hasn't, the shark, even though we've done anything. Yeah, even though we've wiped out 90% of the world's sharks, it hasn't actually changed the statistics on shark attacks. So the only way that
just proves how little chance there is of getting attacked by a shark.
When you came here, didn't you have an idea of like it's shark paradise? There's so many sharks in Australia.
I did actually, yeah.
Are you shocked by the reality?
I was a little surprised, especially like, I guess it kind of hit me back right before I came. I came in February, and when this whole Western Australia shark cull started, I was kind of just like, whoa, like that's happening there. I guess I kind of just had a view that Australia was sort of like Hawaii with their sharks. Everyone loves them.
Not at all.
And I came here and realized everyone's about just as scared, if not more scared here than they are in the States.
Save our sharks! Save our sharks! Save our sharks! Save our sharks! Save our sharks!
At this time, where protecting our biodiversity and our environment is really urgent and crucial, our governments are doing the exact opposite. And this could end up having irreversible impacts on our animals and our plants, on land and in water. So today, on National Threatened Species Day, we gathered here to make sure that what happened in 1936, when the Tasmanian tiger became extinct, never happens again. Today, we're here to make sure that sharks are not indiscriminately slaughtered, and that we protect our ecosystem and our species for its own intrinsic value, and also for the value it provides all of us humans living on this planet. Sharks have survived for 450 million years, but we know that they could become extinct in the next couple of decades. So it is our responsibility to stand up, like you are all here today, and raise our voices to protect our biodiversity for future generations and for thousands and millions of more years. Science tells us, and you've heard this before from Shani and others, that culling sharks is not the way to protect our swimmers and surfers. Every scientific piece of evidence negates this. Yet our politicians have been willfully ignorant of this. We know sharks are under threat from overfishing, from culling, and from shark nets.
I love to swim, surf, snorkel, go on bushwalks, and most of all, scuba dive. So the one factor that really creates my appreciation of these activities is the opportunity to interact with wildlife, especially sharks. So this is all threatened by the thousands of sharks, dolphins, whales, turtles, dugongs, seals, stingrays, and even penguins, which have been caught and killed by nets and drum lines around Australia. Without the complete removal of these harmful and cruel methods of mass murder, the future can only hold a bleak underwater world devoid of life. So earlier this week I was involved in a Youth Leading the World Congress held by Ausgreens at the Coastal Environment Centre. I sat in a room surrounded by kids my age or even younger who were simply enraged by the injustices of our treatment of Mother Nature.
As a biologist, I know that as being at the top of the food chain, they help equalize and give a balance to the nature, because if we take away hunters like sharks, other species, they will grow without control. And uncontrolled in nature is definitely something bad. We're experimenting, I'm from Italy, and in the Mediterranean for overfishing we are getting loads of jellyfish. So this is how balance works. If you take away some kind of hunters, you get more like a breeding of other species that are maybe undesirable. So
yeah.
If you lose sharks, then what other animals do you lose from them, because they are the predators.
Exactly.
So it just doesn't affect one species, it affects other animals and other species as well. So it's a domino effect, really. It honestly is, and it's devastating that we're even having to entertain this idea that it's going to happen. And so we need action, and we need to do it now.
The more education we get out there, the better. I mean, everyone here is very educated. If they educate one person, that person educates another, then it'll just hit everyone, and hopefully it start to get away with people. So.
Yeah.
World domination.
Shark domination. Wonderful.
Culling, it's just unnecessary. We have other things. Shark-proof shields. There's practically everything now.
Yeah.
As with every other living animal, the value of sharks is the same as our own value. I don't think any animal should be killed for any reason.
Well, it's part of the ecosystem, so if you take a little part of the chain, it all collapses. That's what we think.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so what do you think is the value of sharks?
Well, they're apex predators, so we really need them in the environment because they get rid of most of the other, marine life that isn't very good. I can't really think of any other better scientific answer because I only read this book.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, according to experts, they are needed in the ocean.
Yeah.
And they're awesome to look at as well, and they're really interesting, so.
Are you afraid of them?
No. I mean, if one came at me, I'd be rather intimidated, but yeah.
They won't stop you from going in the ocean.
No, definitely not.
No. Do you feel like you need government protection from them?
Definitely not.
And just finally, can I ask you both, are either of you afraid of sharks?
No.
Do you think we need our government's protection from them?
No, because they are animals and they act with instinct. And well, it is scientifically proved that they don't care about our presence unless we threaten their hunt. So.
And that's their territory. We're going into their territory. It's our responsibility to look after ourselves. And accidents happen. We drive cars, and that's, we take. It's a responsibility when we're driving a car. It's the same with everything. We should look after ourselves.
Great. Thank you very much, both of you. Are they valuable?
Critical to the whole ecosystem of the ocean. If you don't have sharks, you don't have other species, and it's just all going to be destroyed.
It messes up the trophic levels. I was never afraid. I moved to Australia, and there's so much attention drawn to sharks. I became afraid, and now I am afraid, and so I don't surf.
Oh, is it?
I surf now and again, but really, I always have that in the back of my head.
Yeah.
Which is really quite sad. And it's all media fed. It's unneeded. Because yes, shark attacks do happen in Southern California, but I never was afraid. Ever. I surfed with seals in the water. I mean, gosh, never afraid. So I don't know what it is, but they need to stop it. It needs to stop. No shark call. Take the nets down.
Why do you think governments think they need to protect us from sharks?
I think a lot of them do that just to try to appear that they're good people, that they're thinking of other people in a way where they're not actually. It's just.
I think they don't understand.
They just don't understand. They don't ask the right people. They don't ask the people that are educated. They just look at the assumption and think, oh, people are scared of sharks, so let's try to help them. They don't ask scientists, they don't ask people like you who are studying. It's drastic. But luckily we have the fin-free ban that's going to be coming in, so Marine's doing that. So that's one good politician.
And without them, the more we cull them, once they're all gone, I don't think they realise quite how much devastate everyone.
Yes, as science students, marine science students, we understand a lot about how important top predatory sharks are, just generally all sharks are, to the ecosystem in controlling other populations of their prey species. So the whole domino effect that they did mention in the shark hole rally.
Because they're actually afraid of you. If we don't hurt them, they won't hurt us.
I was really impressed with everybody coming out
to support sharks, and especially because the program that we're actually protesting today is what's happening in New South Wales with the shark meshing program, and a lot of people don't know what that's all about.
Do you think the groundswell is happening, that people would really like to see these nets removed?
Definitely, yeah. There has been polls done previously, and around 75 to 80% of people would like to see non-lethal methods to have shark mitigation.
So it's going in the right direction if the government listens.
Yeah, the government needs to listen. We are supposed to be a democratic society, in theory, so it would be nice if our elected politicians would actually listen to the people and make this change.
One last question. What is it that you think makes our governments think that we want protection from these animals? What justification do they have in these programs?
I think they're just covering their political butts. So basically, they don't want anything to happen on their watch. So if they were to remove the nets or the drum lines, then potentially there'll be a fatal shark incident, and then they may lose their job as a result of it. But there's actually been some really interesting research that was conducted earlier this year by Dr. Christopher Neff, and he actually found that I think it was 96%, it was up there really high, 96% of people don't blame politicians when shark incidents occur. So I think the politicians, it's one less thing they actually need to worry about. Yeah.